Just a moment, barrister. Just a moment. We have a system coordinator of Interpol and a security consultant joining us this morning, Mr. Chikwe Udensi. Glad to have you join us this morning. Good morning to you.
Thank you very much. Good morning. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. You're live on Flow 94.9 FM in Umuahia, and my name is Michael. Now, we're taking a look at the alleged compromise of security operatives concerning the ban placed on the interstate movement by the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Now, from your regular interface with security agencies, there is a particular claim by the National Orientation Agency that they also agree that this compromise is in place. I don't know what do you agree with the National Orientation Agency's position to this huge compromise?
Compromised by who?
By security operatives concerning the enforcement of the interstate movements.
Well, just like coronavirus, you must have to understand there are some underlying factors. Very close to 80% of those who died from coronavirus were from they had the underlying ill health that made them die. You must have to listen to the professionals. There are some underlying problems associated with security in the country. It is very, very important we understand these underlying factors.
Okay.
And we shouldn't be treating the symptoms. We should be treating the disease itself. The Nigerian police force is in charge of the internal security of the country. What are the underlying problems associated with security agencies? There are so many and varied. Let me give you some of them so you can understand exactly where the problem lies.
Okay.
Number one, you know that very close to 70% of our communities are in rural areas. And you also know that the Nigerian police is understaffed. Even with the understaffing we have in Nigerian police force, more than 70% of the understaffed police force are in the rural areas, are in the urban areas, whereas less than 30% are in the rural areas. So you see, we have more than 70% serving 30%, and then have less than 30% serving 70%. Apart from this, you should also be able to understand that over 80% of those who protect life and properties in the Nigerian police force are the NCOs. They are called the non-commissioned officers. You are looking at the constables to the inspectors. 80% of the job are done by them. And you know, for example, to be a sergeant, you must put in between 18 to 25 years. Sometimes some people have been 30 years as sergeants. They are earning about 80,000 naira a month. Until recently, their salaries came 3 or 4 months in arrears.
So, sir, are you saying that we cannot completely blame this alleged extortion on the operatives on the roads manning those borders?
I'm not saying they don't exist, but I'm trying to give you the underlying factors.
Okay.
But there are reasons why these things exist. If you start talking about the problems without knowing where the problems are coming from, you will not be able to solve the problems. The DPOs we are talking about, the divisional police officers or divisional police offices, are understaffed. Where there are vehicles, most of them don't have vehicles. Where there are vehicles, there is no provision for them to maintain those vehicles. Not even for fluid levels of the vehicles. And that was why most states in the north and in the west became very proactive and established homeland securities and also the instrumentality to solve them. You saw how long it took the western region to put together Amoteco. Less than 2 weeks. very close to 1 year now, the Southeast cannot establish one single thing to help in homeland security. The problems are real. The problems are exasperating. But we need to have our proactive governors in the Southeast to wake up to their responsibilities of protecting lives and properties. Where the federal institutions cannot do this, we should ensure that we have an inbuilt arrangement to make sure that this has been done. The North is doing it, the West is doing it, Southeast cannot even put together the Obunigwe they have arranged to put together. This is where the problem lies, my dear. There are basic factorial underlying factors that must be considered in determining so many things. Yes, the people on the streets, if a vehicle is moving from one part of the state to another and where there are prohibitions, you will see that in the rural areas where you have to pass very close to 70% of the arrangement, they collect monies from them because they are poorly paid. They don't have enough on the streets. They are frustrated. We have to build an arrangement, a mechanism that will make sure that we do not pay them so poorly. Let me be honest with you. The language is very simple. If you pay peanuts, you get monkeys. It is simple. The underlying factor is very there. If you don't train them, you don't blame them. So what we are paying them and the number of them on the streets are not enough to substantiate a sizable security apparatus in the system.
If we continue like this, there is definitely a very serious security implication that is lying ahead. Can you highlight them?
The security implications are there already. As I'm talking to you now, I have very vital information that the number of those who have been stopped from moving into Southeast, the militant arrangement that is being connived by so many people now, the number of those that have been stopped is a tip of the iceberg as to the number of those that have entered Southeast. I'm telling you, the danger is real. And we have told our governors, you must have to sit up. You must have to do the necessary. You must have to make sure that you protect life and properties where the federal agencies cannot do that. Unfortunately, the Southeast governors are still sleeping for some reason. And the danger is imminent. The danger is very imminent.
Preferring solutions now to these dangers and of course some of the issues you've highlighted, don't you think that regional security is a time bomb?
I sent a team of my boys to go and meet the Commissioner for Homeland Security in Abia State to profile free solutions, give free advice on how we can secure Abia State, for example, which is my priority. Now, I understand that the young man, they could not reach him. It is important you put the round peg in the round hole. We are told that the commissioner there is a former chairman of a local government who was drafted in to be the commissioner. I do not know the extent of job he's doing yet, so I cannot make a proper judgment as what he's doing. But I'm saying that we must have to look for security experts, or at least harness their advice. Right now, we are not doing that. I'm sounding some serious note of alarm that we are having problems on our hands. I have advised governments. When I called a few state governors the other time in Southeast on the composition of this Southeast Security Agency, I was only able to reach 3 of them. And it took me very close to 4 weeks to reach 3. They're all sitting on their high horses. They can't even come to the level of the masses to listen. And if somebody like me, the highest ranking security consultant in the country, cannot reach our people here, then you can imagine what those who ordinarily are on the streets and have ideas who they can reach. So I am saying that our leaders must have to listen. Our leaders must have to show some level of proactivity in ensuring that we set up our regional security apparatus, because the danger is imminent. What we see on the crime desk here, what we see every day from our security intelligence as to the movement of very, very dangerous people around the southeastern area. That's where I'm concerned. What we see is very, very devastating, and we are all sitting on kegs of gunpowder. I hope it does not explode anytime soon. If it does, it is going to be dangerous.
All right.
The Southeast governors should set up like other regions of Nigeria, set up our security apparatus, make sure we have competent hands to run them, and make sure that they do the internal security of our region, which is very important. We cannot leave it to federal security agencies. They are understaffed, they are underpaid, they are frustrated, they are disgruntled. That is where the problem lies. And that is the disease, not the symptom of the disease.
Okay, just before I let you go this morning, we want to know how soon, because you're saying that, well, if something is not done as soon as possible, we're sitting on a gunpowder. How soon do you think we can get a solution from some of these challenges you've highlighted this morning?
One of the governors told me that he's frustrated by the attitude of his fellow governors. Our governors, if we do not do something now, most of the activities of these hoodlums and these criminals are being hampered by the restrictions that we have today nationwide for the coronavirus. But for the COVID-19 restrictions, you would have seen free movements. The ones we are finding today is because there are restrictions. And we were told earlier that there was a hitch-top arrangement to attack some parts of the country by the Easter. But by the Easter, there were restrictions already in place. So the governments are giving us information. The security agencies are giving us information that, listen, there are imminent danger. But then there are no tools. There are no instrumentalities for fighting this danger. Therefore, every region have taken proactive steps.
All
the
right.
Western region have done more than everybody else expected. The Southeast is still comatose. That's unfortunate.
All right, Sir Chikwe Udensi, System Coordinator of Interpol and Security Consultant. Thank you very much for your analysis on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Now.